Hola amigos de Trail Running Review, estamos en esta Ultra Pirineu 2017 con una de los mitos del trail running femenino, con Anna Frost. Hi Anna.
Hi, how are you?
This year you're going to run BK. Este año va a correr la kilómetro vertical, tonight in fact.
Yeah.
Why?
I really like the vertical K, and I've been racing for 13 years now, and it's always important to keep motivated and keep inspired and keep having fun with racing. So I decided that I'm not feeling in perfect shape and really good shape for a 45K race, so I thought I'll have fun and do the VK.
This year you ran Hard Rock. You were fourth. So this season has been focused on Hard Rock, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't have a great season. I found the motivation really hard for the hard training. I've been fit and healthy, so that's great. And I've had some wonderful experiences. We've done a lot of travel for trail running adventure trips. And so the training to get through Hard Rock was really hard, but I got it done and I did the race and I was really happy.
So, and what will happen next year? So
yeah,
you will still running?
Yeah, I think I'll always run, I'll always race, and I'll always just choose races that are inspiring for that moment, whether it's a VK or 100 miles. And I love that about our sport, that we have so many options and all over the world. I really want to go to Diagonal des Fous and the La Réunion, but I also love doing stage races, and there's many different races that could be exciting for the next year.
I think you have a new project for next season.
Yeah, we're doing more. We have a company called Trail Run Adventures. It's where we take people to places that have inspired me, and I give them the experience that I've had there. So surfing, mountain biking, canyoning, whale watching. And Madeira, for example, we have wine tasting and the beautiful Portuguese food there. And we have another trip in Bhutan and the Himalayas, and we hike through the mountains for 8 days. And Costa Rica to the beach, and so it's
sounds good.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and it's a really nice way to combine a passion for running and for travel. And you know, often with a race, you go to a race, you do a race, and then you can't explore anywhere because your legs are too painful. But with our adventures, we have a week long of running and adventures and exploring, and I think it's a really nice way to keep trail running if you don't have the motivation for racing.
But you mean just giving a taste of every sport, or focus on one sport?
For me, I'm not just so focused on running. I love also to go surfing or to go canyoning and explore a new place on an island, canyoning or climbing up trees or up rocks, and using your body to explore, and I love that.
Sounds good. Sounds different.
Yeah.
And okay, you are from New Zealand. You are living now at Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you run a lot here at Europe. Which is the difference between running at New Zealand, maybe, and running at United States, and running here at Europe?
So where I'm living in Colorado, it's at very high altitude, and it's almost like a desert, but high up in the mountains. So it's very dry. They have the afternoon storms, the lightning and thunder, so you have to be very careful up there in the mountains. But they also have a lot of snow in the winter, so you get like a bit of both. And you know, I'm training on the Hard Rock course. I live right next door to it, so it's very technical, very steep. So it's different to a lot of races in Europe that are you know, you have steep, very rocky, like in the Dolomites or out in Andorra. There's much loose rocks and many more set trails. And then in New Zealand, we don't have as many trails. It's so packed with dense forest that you have to take the path. But that's what I love, like I was saying before with trail running, that everywhere you go in the world, it's very unique.
And what do you think about trail running? Is going the correct way? I mean, the sport, you mean?
Yeah. I think it's going in two ways. I think we can see very focused racing, trail racing, with a lot of media, a lot of sponsors focused on the race and the podium and the athletes performing at a high level.
Money also.
And money, and with money comes doping, and that's why we now have a lot more like drug testing in the sport, which is great. It's not necessarily what I love about the sport. I think that's one way, and the other way, and I call that trail racing, and then there's trail running, which I think is where people go and they find maybe an FKT, you know, the fastest known time attempt, or they just go and they run across the Alps, or they do a route and just run it with their friends over a week, or like the trail run adventures where we just go and run for the passion of running.
But by their own, maybe, yeah?
Yeah, on their own, or to small local races that don't have all the circus.
The circus,
with it.
Circus.
And both are really nice. I love both about them, but for me personally, I never came into the sport 13 years ago thinking it would be here. You know, for me it was never about being a professional. It was never about getting paid. It was never about following the media. It was something that I had to learn that was coming into the sport, and it was hard for me to learn because for me it was always I just ran because I wanted to, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted to see new places. So yeah, for me I feel I'm definitely more trail running rather than trail racing.
And I think that's why we love Anna Frost.
Well, thank you.
Es por esto que nos gusta Anna Frost, porque ella huye un poco del circo, huye un poco de todo esto de este, al final, el mundo mediático del que nosotros mismos formamos parte, ¿no? We are part of the circus. We can't do anything about it. But Anna Frost prefiere un poco salirse un poco del circo, and that's why also you are going to do this new thing this next year outside this circus, and to give this experience to the people. I really hope that the essence and values of the pure trail running stays alive, and I feel like this is a good way to encourage that to stay alive. Okay, bueno, pues Anna Frost, siempre aprendiendo, always learning about you, su filosofía de ver el trail, muchos años, así que thank you, Anna Frost.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the way you think.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank
Anna
you very
Frost.
much. Bye.